Hey everyone, this is Erik Burton with ericburton.com. We are going to check out some of the information that's come about for the Affiliate Advertising Club. And I'm going to log into my back office here and kind of talk with you a little bit about what is changing now with the adjustment. It's basically they're relaunching the site because about 10 seconds into it, or 10 minutes into actually launching last Sunday, they didn't know that there was a glitch in the APR. There were so many people trying to sign up at one time. This has never happened before to these creators. So things weren't working perfectly at all. The APR, they say, is giving a lot of people too much and a lot of people not any at all. So, and I figured after the first day that it wasn't as fast as I was used to on the times before that they had done these a few years back. So these type of numbers here, with everything that I've gathered in my back office and in what my referrals have been doing, was off by about 40 to 60%. Which means that it should have doubled and tripled and quadrupled in the first 24 hours. And from what I can tell with my numbers, it basically turned over 1.2 times. So say if you started with $100, it turned into $220 after the first 24 hours, which was incorrect because the APR supposedly wasn't working. Now, here's some information from the actual owner and producer, and they're talking about what they're going to do. AAC, which is Affiliate Advertising Club, is his baby. It took him 15 years to design it. Right before launch, my developer made some last-minute changes to the code in anticipation of intense traffic all at once. It was supposed to help, but in fact, the code crashed and caused the ARP to cease functioning as it was originally designed and tested to function prior to those changes. It was certainly not intentional. He was trying to help us with all of these smoother launch considerations that literally had thousands of members, including myself, logged in, sitting in at their keyboard and so forth and so on. So basically, he has never seen anything like it in his 22 years of launching any type of pre-launch companies. And remember, we're basically beta testers. The first 10 or 15, maybe 20,000 members, we're beta testing this. So don't be afraid, okay? You're not going to lose anything, okay? Everything is going to be reset, and everything that you've done up to this point is going to be cataloged, and it already knows it, so it's going to actually do it on its own. So what made things worse is the APR crash was not immediately noticed. It appeared to be processing new purchases and ARP positions. It wasn't until hours later they realized the fraction of the members, those who were able to get their purchases in during the first 10 minutes before the code crash, were cycling and earning the ARP. So I recognized that early on that this ARP wasn't moving very well for me because I started off at a pretty good number. And then also I actually had referrals that started off at even bigger numbers than I was on. Okay. So it's more of a hindsight as 2020 that I'm looking back on this, but it's okay. Remember that this is in beta anyway. Just remember that they're just going to recycle this. And it's basically, we're going to have a start over. We're going to have a do-over. For the past 40 hours or so, he's had 2 developers digging into the meat of the cause and planning a fix action that includes a cleanup. And he wants to explain it here. Less than 1/3 of the members are earning from the ARP. Now, even my earnings weren't quite up to what they should be. Okay, this was like 2 to 2.5 days, maybe 60 hours worth of ARP earnings, when this should have actually been the first 5 hours of my earnings, okay, from what I've even categorized or cataloged. That's why 2/3 of the members are not seeing any earnings, and no positions are cycling, and no auto repurchases are happening either. That's not fair, is it? Of course it isn't. My newest developer is one of the best in the USA, hands down. Once he finalizes a plan, and I wish I could tell you when, but once he does that, we will basically be reversing everything that happened as of the result of purchases back to 30 minutes before launch time. It should be soon. It didn't. I didn't want to go this route, but it needs to be done in such a way that it is final and 100% clear, so where we can basically have a redo or a restart. Do not panic. Read to the end, okay? First, purchases will be disabled. Deposits are not affected because they are not connected to the ARP until there is a purchase. All affiliate commissions will be reset to 0. Affiliate ranks will be reset. All ARP positions will be zeroed out, removed from the ARP pool. Withdrawal requests and the withdrawal fee will be reserved or reversed, and the money returned to the respective balances. The only thing that will not be reversed or zeroed out is our ad credits. Those will remain. Now, that comes with good news. We extract the current database before resetting everything, and after purchases are disabled, then we enable all email notifications. Then we reinsert all previous purchases from the launch time until purchases were disabled into the system, just as if we were doing them yourself, or very importantly, in the same order that they originally went in, because everything is marked and date time stamped in the database. Repeat, we will insert all the purchases digitally, so no, you do not have to do them yourself manually like you did originally. That basically means that we don't have to go in here and do what we were doing from the very conception of this on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or Arizona time or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, like buying our own processes. We've already done that, and the database already knows that. They're not going to erase that. It's just going to repeat the process for us. And what it's really going to do is it's going to zero out these numbers here that we see currently, and within 24 hours, you're going to see something a lot bigger normally than what you probably had in your back office. Okay, this is about 2 days almost of running. I would say 48 to 60 hours, like I said before, and this is not even close to what it should have been. This should have been at least double, if not triple, the numbers that you see here. Okay, so everything was kind of messed up. I think my APR was actually lower than it should be from my recommendations on what I calculated. This time with a fully functional ARP, everyone gets to experience fast cycling and repetitive doubling. Okay, that's what I'm talking about here. This barely doubled one time and it was starting to go into a second time, but that was within 60 hours. Okay. Normally, the first 24 hours, it's going to double at least 4, maybe 5 times in a row. Okay, so we would see a lot more than we saw. So this is a good thing because they're basically just pressing reset, and we don't have to repurchase what we did before. It will automatically do that, and it's going to do that in a timestamp to where it's fair to everyone who was timestamped. I mean, come on, I have advertisements in here that haven't even been approved yet. Okay, there's been a few approved, but like waiting approval right here. Okay, and it looks like some of my banners have actually been approved now, you see. So the same with the text ads. Okay, there's a few in here like waiting to be approved. Okay, and then also, especially in my login, log off ads, this I did the very first day within the very first 30 minutes. Right here, still waiting for approval, still waiting for approval, still waiting for approval. So you see, they were inundated. Things were not going specifically well for them, and I don't blame them. But it's also good what they're doing here, okay? Affiliate commissions and rank increases will happen just as they did before because commissions are based on purchases. That does not change. If anything, our affiliate commissions could be much higher because we were not earning on our referral auto repurchases at this time. You see that? You see what I'm saying there? So even me, the first day watching this, I was going, you know, I did okay, but I kind of thought from what I saw my referrals purchasing, I'm going, man, it should have been a lot higher, a lot faster than that. I mean, I had one guy who put in $5,000 to start, I believe, and it turned over once and started a little bit slower to turn on a second time, and it hasn't gone over since. So that 5,000 that he put in to start, and he was purchasing ad packs, which you could see that in my back office, he should have rolled that at least 3, maybe 4 times in the first 24 hours. So 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 40, and maybe by the second day, 40 to 80, and it hasn't even passed, it's barely past 10,000 at this point. So we know, and I knew at some point that this is what it exactly says here, the affiliate commissions could be much higher because they were not earning on our referral auto purchases, okay, at this time, because they will be when the ARP is working correctly. Okay, all those auto repurchases are even better than the original purchase because they are for twice the amount, meaning doubling the commission. So somebody gets in for 5,000 and it goes to 10,000, then you get a 10% commission until it reaches 50,000 total, and you go to 15%. So you can see every time it auto rolls over. So 5 to 10 is another $100, and then or $1,000, and then 10 to 20 is another $2,000 in commissions. It didn't do that yet, and it should have done that in the first 24 hours or quicker. Okay, so as for the ad credits, everyone gets all of your ad credits again. This is like getting free traffic, and it's my way of saying thank you for being so supportive and patient, because remember, this is basically a beta test phase, and you're lucky that you're already in now, because I don't know, somebody coming in brand new and putting a deposit in, we just don't know when that can happen or if that is happening. This is the only fair solutions. According to the creator Clay, his APR earnings are currently showing about 260,000, and he knew it wouldn't be that high so fast. Now he's talking about the ARP earnings right here, okay? But if you had affiliate commissions, I mean, for me, from when I figured this out, this was about 1.25, 1.5 times rollover of what was purchased in my back office from my direct referrals. I literally had probably about maybe $9,000 worth of purchases, including my own, including my referrals. So 9,000 to 18,000. You see that? And that was basically one. Okay, maybe I'm underestimating that, but so you can understand that if you have about 9,000 in purchases from, you know, the first couple of hours, it should go from 9,000 to 18,000, 18,000 to 36,000, 36,000 to 72,000 by the end of the first day. And it didn't do that. That's basically what we're talking about in rolling over several times, at least 3 or 4 in the first 24 hours. And it didn't do that because of what the owner is stating here. The APR earnings weren't clicking over. We weren't getting credit for those purchases, repurchases after the rollover. And remember, the repurchases come from when you click on your account here in my profile and you scroll down and you see the auto repurchase right there and the check mark. That's what I'm talking about when it does its thing to auto repurchase. That's so important, especially up till a time where you want to decide to take a little bit of cash out. Okay, so to read on a little bit more, the ARP points and the arrow in the ARP box on your members area homepage are tied to the ARP. The ARP has not been working right, so you can ignore the points and the arrow until after we do the reset. Okay, and they're talking about this right here. Some of you had no arrow, some of you had a red arrow down, and I fortunately had a green arrow up. I wasn't concerned about it, okay? As for the ads, keep them going if you want. I am, of course, I am too, because you got to remember, this is more of a a little bit more longer term than what I've heard in the comments. A lot of people go, well, when is my $100 going to roll over to $200? Why? Do you want to take it out at $200? Because the expense of sending it from one Bitcoin wallet to another is going to take away probably 30% of that profit, and it'll be $170 by the time it gets back to your wallet. Why would you want to do that? Because this is a once in a lifetime setup, ladies and gentlemen, and we're in beta. Okay. We're having a time struggling to start this thing, but once it gets started, and when there is not 20,000 members, but 100,000 members, and you were one of the first 1,000 members that is profiting from all of these people doing all of these things, because there's not very many people that know about this yet. And as long as you do your job to promote it to other people and say, yeah, I'm making money, because you will be, that's what you want to be doing. You want to put this $100 or $200 away in your mind and just do what you're supposed to do on a daily basis. And in a couple of months, then you make an evaluation. The first 60 days, well, what did my $200 do? Well, my $200 is worth about $2,500 now, okay, or 35, or whatever number that is. That's what you want to assess. And then from there, you can turn off the auto repurchase if you desire. Okay. Once you uncheck this box and you scroll down here and update, once you do that, then a lot of the money that rolls over every day is going to go into your back office account. And this is where you can withdraw funds. It'll be cash balance. You see that? So I don't want hardly any cash balance in here. Okay, at this point. And as far as purchasing traffic, I go here all the time to see how much APR credits I have to keep repurchasing, because I know until they shut it down and restart it, it's going to remember that timestamp. That means that I want this thing rolling like a monster for quite a long time. It may be a week, it may be 2 weeks for me, and then I can start to see a little bit of area where I can retract a little bit, maybe a couple thousand at a time. My eventual goal is just to take 2,000 out a day out of this process, and I will be actually videoing that process, because I've got it up to such a standard. You don't want a 100 horsepower muscle car, do you? You want a 500 horsepower more muscle car, so that you can give and retract from it and take some profit from it, and it'll still continue to keep strong and regain its strength to continue on to let you continue to retract or extract money from it. But if you're in this mindset where you want to, oh, I'm putting $100 in and hopefully I can turn it over and withdraw that 200 out, well, then you're in the wrong place. Okay. This is not the platform for you. Okay. If you're that desperado to make any type of profit. Okay. You can click on the link in the description below. There is an alternative link. Okay. That you want to go to if you're into crypto. That's not even close to what this is, but it's a longer term. You can put your money in and let it grow over time. And within 3 years, you can be a millionaire in crypto without having to do much of anything. This is a little more short term, but it's not short term enough to where you're going to put $100 in and take $100 or $200 out by 4:30 tomorrow. Okay. They're having a little bit of difficulty with all of the people that are coming in. But once it's set and running well, and they're monitoring it consistently, and it builds up to 100,000 members from the 20 or 25,000 members now, and then it possibly gets to 200 or 300,000 members, and you're still in it and you're still rolling, you're going to be able to roll over much quicker than you think when you have that many members in this platform. Okay, so the site is still getting a massive amount of traffic, and lots of members are going to continue to click on ads and check things out. And so this is from Clay Montgomery, the founder of Affiliate Advertising Club. So make sure to click in the link in the description below if you're interested in getting into this, because actually now it's a time where you can get involved in this, because we're reverting back to the starting day, because of the thing wasn't set up quite the way it needs to be, and people need to be paid according to what they do on this platform. and so forth and so on. So I applaud them at least trying to reverse this and treating everybody fairly. Even Clay, who is the inventor of this, said that he's going to revert back to zero as well, just like everyone else. Okay, so you want to make sure that you click on the link in the description below if you want to get involved in this, or there's another alternative. The alternative is right here, kingdomfreedom.info. There's an alternative cryptocurrency link below if you're interested in that. Otherwise, make sure that you keep on the updates. It'll probably be another couple days before they get everything set and ready to go. And it's basically an auto restart that we're not going to have to restart. It's going to do itself. And but if you inundate the queue with all of these questions, they're not going to respond to you because they don't have enough people to respond to all the penny ante questions that everybody seems to be worried about, because your mindset has to be better than it is. Mind over matter. Stop letting your emotions get in the way of your goals, which are to take $100 or $200 and turn it into 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever your goal is. My goal is to take $1,000 and turn it into $1 million. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to help others in the process to do it, as long as they're willing to listen and learn and follow my lead. Okay. And that's what I try to do. I try to bring common sense to you and help you to understand that you need to stop living in a dream world where all of these gurus are telling you things like, yeah, I took $50 and turned it into $10 million in 2 years, but I'm not going to tell you how I blood, sweat, and tears, all of that, and stayed up 60, 70 hours a week trying to do that for those 2 years. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to make you think that, oh, I just push a button and that $100 turns into $1 million. It doesn't happen that way. But if you're patient, and if you say, okay, I'm just going to give this $200, I'm going to put it in here, I'm going to roll it and do it every day like I'm supposed to, you'll be surprised in the first 60 days of what you actually see. Okay. So click on the link in the description below. I hope that I was a little bit of a help for most of you. I just basically told you what was told to us a few hours ago from the actual creator and what they're trying to accomplish now. So basically, remember, it's just a reboot, okay? And everybody's going to get equality of what they started with and how they started. And it's time-stamped that way, so the computer is not going to make that mistake. The AI is going to follow the path that it started with, but it's going to also credit you with ARP earnings consistently the way it's supposed to. So instead of seeing that slow 1 to 1.5 rollover in the first 24 or even 48 hours, you're going to see 4, maybe 5 rollovers in the first 48 hours in this reboot. Okay. So click on the link in the description below. This is Erik Burton with erikburton.com. Have a great day, guys and gals, and I will see you on the next video.